My name is Nana. I work with LEAD Rwanda as the country director, and thank you all for making time to join us this morning. I know it's the invitation came in a bit late, and the fact that it's early in the morning and most of you made the time to join us, we really appreciate it. And we also apologize that there has been quite a delay in our timing because some of our colleagues have not been around. But as we are going on, we have other people join us. We have the deans of other universities on their way. We also have other students, guild leaders who are on their way because they had other engagement. So without taking much time, we are going to have a quick check-in to know who's in the room. Because I believe most of us here have not met. And the purpose of this event is to make sure that at the end of the day, we collaborate and we make sure that we make connections that are relevant to all the parties involved. So let me talk about why we are here. So we are here because of the LEAD program, which is organized by LEAD Rwanda, an organization that is passionate about empowering young people, promoting entrepreneurship and promoting leadership. It's also in collaboration with ISEC, the world's largest youth organization, which spans across 127 countries. And then we have our colleagues from LEAD Nigeria, who share the same vision as LEAD Rwanda, empowering young people and creating leadership, and also promoting agricultural sustainability. But this wouldn't have been made possible without the US Embassy. We very much appreciate your support for youthful initiatives. So in this room, we have implementing partners and we have key stakeholders. So the stakeholders are our Dean of Students, the Student Guild leaders, and our partners, US Embassy. So we are going to do a quick check-in. Like I said, my name is Nana, and I'm sure you've noticed from my accent that it's quite different. I'm Ghanaian. So I'm not from here, I'm Ghanaian, but I've been in Rwanda for almost a year and a half now. So I think I identify as Rwandan more than Ghanaian. So like I said, I work with ISEC. We are going to take it from this role. You mention your name and then you mention your role in the organization you are with. So we can start from like this.
Representative of LEAD Rwanda, and professionally I'm the country director of a youth organization called Akilah Institute in Rwanda. Thank you.
My name is Lay Adventists of Kigali, executive secretary. Professionally, I'm in business.
Hello everyone. My name is I am London. I work with ISEC. I'm the vice president in charge of social projects, and I'm a graduate. I graduated this year, and I also do have a business. So yes, that's good.
So my name is also the president of Carnegie.
Thank you. My name is David. I'm happy to be here. I'm the lead president at Carnegie Mellon. Thank you.
And also a managing partner of research and projects.
Morning everyone. My name is Sean. I work for the US Embassy of Kigali here in the economic affairs section. So our section manage exchange programs, including including Yanni. It's a Yanni program. Thanks very much.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to I'm lead president at LEAD Rwanda campus. Thank you.
Yes, good morning. I'm thankful to be the eldest here. There's a lot of administrative experience, more than 20 years. I was a mayor of Nyanza district. I'm the senior person in the Rwanda Revenue Authority. Now I'm the dean of students at University. I'm pleased to join you because I feel empowered to empower others, especially students.
My name is
Director of Student Welfare or Dean of Students, UANA, the campus. I'm very, very thankful to be here. My great president is on the way. We come lately because the former great president who became was totally sick during the night, and we have said that we cannot miss the great president in this program, and we have decided the new elected, even if there is not already handover, but he has to come so that he will be empowered. Then we will excuse him because of the election, but he is on the way. Thank you.
President of the University.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Sanjay. I'm from Akilah Institute. I graduated this year. I was a former student leader, and I got the chance to work there. I'm a student affairs assistant.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Akilah Institute. I'm from Nigeria. This kind of school in Kenya. I'm a student of South Africa. I'm a member of myself. So basically, I came here this morning to kind of have my project at play. So this kind of income for me. That's why I'm looking like this. So I'm here to represent my school in the United States and West Africa.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Dr. Akilah Institute from Nigeria. These are students of Carnegie Mellon University Africa. Thank you.
Good morning, Akilah Institute from Nigeria. My name is Kulo. Basically, I graduated this year as the former student in Nigeria, Carnegie University Africa. The farmer.
Good morning. My name is Emir Kanti Pizera, and I work with ISEC. I'm the director of Human Resources.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Femi. Titulai Femi Kings, and I'm from Nigeria. I'm the co-founder and the director of LEAD Transformation Initiative Nigeria, and we are partnering together with LEAD Rwanda, and it's good to be here.
So in case he just has to give us abruptly, we have that picture. So can we do the picture now? Bless you. I think we can do it in front. All of us, yes, photograph or you can direct us.
We're taking the picture for you.
With my lead back.
Yes.
I think if you could like this a little bit.
Yeah.
So those ones will maybe face this way. They face you face this process. You remain like this.
You might be able to do that so you don't see three
And some people squat.
Yeah, I think we have 5 minutes. This one
Traveling all the way from Nigeria with his team to share with us why this whole LEAD concept is important. He shares with us the story of LEAD and what is happening in Nigeria, how it has been useful to Nigeria. And also, we are also going to share what we've done in Rwanda with regards to this project. So one thing I need to point out is that we have already started this initiative. It has already been done in Nigeria, and in Rwanda also, we've already started with pilot programs. So Mr. Femi will tell us the whole idea about this, give us the conception story, and then tell us, together with his team, they will tell us how important this training has been. That is why they came all the way from Nigeria, especially the Dean of Students, the Student Union President, to tell us what this particular training has done for their university and the potential of this training in terms of us replicating it in Rwanda. What is likely to happen if we are able to successfully integrate this project that they are running in Rwanda. So without taking much time, I would invite the Honorable Mr. Femi. Can you invite him with a round of applause?
Good morning this morning.
Good morning.
I've learned Maracose, so I should teach you the Nigerian words. So you say Ekaro. So you want to emphasize it and you want the person to know that I am really greeting you. You can be greeting as when he does not hear. I am Ekaro.
That's Yoruba.
Yoruba. Ekaro. So you say you will say, oh, that's the response. So let's do it now. Ekaro. Oh. So let it sound. Let's do it again. Ekaro. Oh. Have you got it? Okay, thank you so much. It's good to be here, and it's funny the way vision starts and visions explode. It's very funny. See, I think that's the best adjective I can give to it now. When you're in the corner of your room, you're in your bed, you're on your thinking table, you're in your thinking room, and you start thinking of, oh, this is how I want to turn around things. This is how I want to turn around things in Nigeria, in my state, in Africa, and it looks as if it's not possible. And in no distance time, when you take just one step to start, you see it keep going and keep going and keep going. That is the summary of SLED Africa that we are discussing now. We have LEAD Rwanda. It's coincidental. It's wonderfully visionary. I can't explain how somebody in Nigeria would name his organization LEAD. And they're thinking of working with student leaders, and is far there in Nigeria. And here in Rwanda, somebody too is thinking of the same thing and still names it LEAD. And mind you, the LEAD is not the word leadership. The L-E-A-E stands for some things. Because literally we came and I came into Rwanda and we shared these things together. I was like, LEAD, student leaders. And I think this is time for Africa to rise. This is a definite thing that is about to move Africa around. There's a cliche in Nigeria now called not too young to run. And it's a very funny thing, looking at how young leaders want to take over. But the painful thing is that the structure is not right that wants to create the type of leaders they are talking about. Because they are all, the people now in the forum called Not Young to Run, they are all emergency leaders. Did you hear me? Emergency leaders or accidental. Who will become accidental leaders? Because there was no structure put on ground that is producing them. So, this vision that we are sharing with you today, which is now going beyond Nigeria, Africa, and various places, started with a mind of why is it that leaders in Africa are failing? How can Nigeria be this old? And in Nigeria, Akure, where I stay, all I am entitled to is just 4 hours electricity. That was still fluctuates. My roads are not good. The water is not there. Municipal things are not just there. Simple things are supposed to be there. Yet you call Nigeria the giant of Africa. Sleeping. So this is the pain that has been in my heart. And I felt these leaders that are now leading us, How did they arrive at leadership? Where are they coming from? And you cannot expect much from an organization than the mindset of that leader. An organization cannot perform better than the mindset of the leader. And that is why Nigeria is what you see. That is why our corruption is grade 1. Our terrorism is grade 2. We are very wonderful at all this. But we need to continue like this. Is this what the future of Nigeria will continue to be? In no distance time, I too might go, maybe in 10, 50, 40 years time. Then what will happen to the next generation? The people leading us now, where did they come from? What went wrong? Who built them? Who imparted them? Where did they learn leadership? That they are now governing the country the way the country is now. These are the cries that we had in our mind. Let's go to the next slide. And we discovered, so a little bit about me. This is me when I was graduating from school. I got, what I was sharing with you. Hey, I need to tell you this. Please don't abuse me. I graduated as the best third-class student in my university. Did you hear what I said? You're happy for me. Best third-class student in physics electrical. Best third class. This is the first class one. So you don't clap for me. Best third class. She has found her first class. You know, she clapped for me here in the first class. But let us stop being deceived with this nomenclature that is called first class, that is not making or putting our country in first class. Now that same day, my school was wise enough to know that this guy might be a third class student, but is a first class person. And on the same day, that's my vice chancellor, that is me, that's my wife. On the same day of graduation, when the school was giving me a third class certificate, they were wise enough to give me the best student leader on campus. Now, what is the solution now that brings me to this? Academics, leadership in me was sounding better than what physics was sounding. So how will African education begin to look beyond academic prowess and look at other talents in people that can put them on their platform in life? Don't cage all of us inside physics electronics. Don't cage all of us inside economics. Don't judge all of us with biochemistry. Some of us have something better than biochemistry in us. I thought you class. So I got this award. The next, my girlfriend, the next year got the same award as the best student leader on campus. And not just that, immediately we were retained as a staff in the university. It is unusual for a Nigerian university to retain a third class student. But the Vice Chancellor began to see that beyond academics, there are other talents in people that we need to give attention to. And he broke protocol to retain me. He broke protocol to retain my wife. And in 7 years' time, I resigned. She also resigned to pursue a particular vision. What is that vision? Next slide. In Nigeria, how do you describe a student leader? Mind you, before I got to this university where I finished like this, I started my higher institution in 1997, and I had my first degree in 2008. Put it together, how many years? 10 years. I stepped into university first in 1997, but I had my first certificate in 2008. So what was happening to me? And there's no 10 years course anywhere. So what was happening to me? I became a student leader, and this is how student leadership is being described in Nigeria. 1, you think that if you become a student leader in Nigeria, you must be a thug. Thuggery. It must be violence. It must be fighting. So let me show you how they describe a student leader in Nigeria. Go back. Can you describe what comes to your mind when you mention SUG? To a Nigerian student, who is a vibrant student union leader? To a Nigerian politicians, what are student leaders? To institutional leaders, do you really need students? To student leaders, why are you in office? I will answer all this question in course of this short presentation. Next slide. Next slide. We now discovered that most people who are campus leaders, one way or the other, find themselves to become country leaders in Nigeria. Please, I want to put it as a challenge here. Is it like that in Rwanda? Take it again. Some of the people who were campus leaders, guild presidents, guild secretary, guild whatsoever, one way or the other, they found themselves into country leadership. I don't know if it's like that in Rwanda. In Nigeria, we have seen a clear connection between campus leadership and country leadership. Then watch it very well. It's like that in every country. Watch it in Rwanda. Check your statistics. Check your data. Check the history of your leaders. You'll see that one way or the other, they have rehearsed leadership on campus. But let me say about Nigeria. Now, this is my present Minister of Transportation, my present past Governor of Rivers State, one of the most corrupt leaders in Nigeria. Where did he start it from? Campus. He was a student union president, I think in Uniport. In that school, Rivers State, SUD president. I can count like that. Okay, if you don't know any, do you remember this name on the news? Google it. Do you know Melaya? Please write it down. Just Google this name. Do you know Melaya? Google it and look at how this guy is troubling Nigeria now. Did you hear of a senator that was arrested and jumped out of the police truck? Does that look reasonable? A senator that was arrested and he jumped out of the police truck. This is a senator now that will be singing and abusing the president on television media, open, CNN and everything, abusing the president. This is a senator that he has serious lot of cases in his hands now. But where did he start it from? He was the student union, the guild president in ABU. And while I was in school in 1997, these were the leaders we were following. That all they thought you could do is to embezzle money, fight, and be violent. So, I entered into the university with this mindset. That what makes you a good leader is how violent you can be, how troublesome you can be, how much of trouble you can do. And it ended me the 10 years trouble that I had. So, I now decided that if I go back into the university, I would find a way of training student leaders so that they stop being problematic as most student leaders in Nigeria become. That is what gave birth to the project SLED. And it's called Student Leaders Development, Student Leaders Training and Development. Next slide. Next slide. So what is the burden we have in our minds? Let us change the identity of what a student leader is in Nigeria. The student leaders themselves see the office as a platform for personal gain. Now I'm answering those questions I asked. What do you see? When they see the Nigerian student leader, they say thuggery, thief, and so on and so forth. Even the student leaders in office see it as a place to embezzle. Nigerian student leaders see a lousy, aggressive individual as a suitable student union leader. So when they see a gentleman like him saying, I want to become the president, sir, he doesn't have the space. They feel he's too gentle. He cannot do anything. But the president can say, greatest Nigeria student! Oh! I'm going to do it, sorry for it. You know, they make all this noise, yet, sir, there is nothing in their brain. They are not productive. And they have a lot of money passing through their hands. So we feel, let us give student leadership a new identity. And let them begin to see themselves as somebody who is on a platform as a rehearsal of the great platform of being president of the country in the future. Let's read the evidence. People view them through the lens of destruction and see them as a tool for negativity. Our politicians in Nigeria, when they want to look for the people that will help them to destroy, to cause a strike or cause any trouble anywhere, they keep their own children abroad. They keep their own children in the US, and they just give a student leader some small money, and the guy is all out destroying and fighting for the politicians. So when politicians want to destroy, they know no other person to give that power to than a student union. Because you know what? A student union leader has a power, has a platform that carries authority. I thought again. A student union president has a platform that carries authority. That is to say, he has a voice that is ready to be heard. But you know what? It takes the bad politicians to put what they say into their mouth, because the guy himself is not trained. The guy himself lacks substance. The guy himself doesn't know what he's supposed to say. But yet, he has a platform. He has a face that everybody wants to hear. He has a name that everybody wants to listen to. But no content. No content. No content. No content. So, since he or she has no content, then the politicians that has an agenda gives him the content to say, and start blowing the wrong content. And sir, imagine, he's a student union leader controlling 20,000 students. When he says fight, immediately you hear 20,000 students say what? Fight. When he says destroy, you see 20,000 students saying destroy. But this is my pain. We feel, let us change the content that student leaders are carrying. Now, let them begin to talk peace. Let them talk vision. Let them talk changing curriculum. Let them talk about environmental sustainability. Let them talk about healthy eating. Let them talk about a curriculum that can make an African student compete with any student in Europe. That would be wonderful content for them to talk about. Institutional leaders see union leaders as a necessary evil. Let's just have them. We must just have them. They don't see them, my God, you know, we took students, they don't see them as, sir, ma, is it possible that when management meeting is happening in our institutions, the vice chancellor thinks that I cannot start this meeting until I see my student union president? Is it possible that the vice chancellor feels this meeting cannot start until because the vice chancellor knows that when the student union president is on seat, sense is on seat. When the vice chancellor knows that when the student union president is in the meeting, solution is on the way. But these days now, they don't want to see them. They say, oh, no, we don't want to. Because they know that when they come, they lack substance, they lack content, they don't have anything to say. And are you blaming them? Don't blame them. Let us blame ourselves. We have gone ahead of them. It is what we call leadership for them, what they are now geometrically multiplying. We need to change it. So we just see them as necessary evil. Look at a former SUD president in Futa, my university, who had looked at the union's property, today is aspiring for legislative post in Lagos State. Imagine what he will do if he is now in office. Let me give you the story. In 2003, a president eloped with 900,000 naira. That's almost like $5,000 to $6,000. The union money. He left it to Canada. Now he's back in the country. He wants to become a mayor. It is so sure that the way he stole, because he has successfully stolen campus money. Watch my see. He has stolen campus money. He would now he has power, authority, and no money. He would the same way steal country money. That is why Nigeria is the way it is. If you are thinking about Nigeria, see, people have not looked at the problem of Nigeria from this angle until we started. So, what's our cry? If we cannot repair today, let us prepare tomorrow. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I cannot change Dino Melai again. I cannot change Labramaku again. I cannot change Amechi again. But sir, I can prepare him. Because one day, they will be at the realm of affairs. So Rwanda, Africa, talking to Africa here. What are we doing to prepare the people that will lead us in 10 years' time? What are we doing to prepare that girl, that lady that will be on the seat as the Minister of Education? What are we doing to prepare that guy that will be on seat as the Minister of Technology? What are you doing? You take it's only academics. My dears of students, my student union leader. Physics electronics is physics electronics. Physics electronics is not equal to leadership. Leadership is a course of its own. Chemistry is about chemistry. Turning money into productive ideas is another thinking. And we need to learn. Managing crisis is another thinking. Physics electronics will not give you that. And if these young people we are seeing are not invested into today along that dimension, they will only become robots in physics electronics. Am I making sense? Yes. They become robots in agricultural engineering. All they think about is agricultural engineering. Then when the crisis of policy comes, they know nothing to talk about. Please, let us invest in this. Next slide. I've told some youths about, just go back 1 minute. This was what happened to me in 1997 when I started school. But to save time, let's go off this one. I thought that trouble is always a good student. Next slide. No. Next one. Go forward. Forward. You go next. You bring it back. Yes, you now have to go back now. So the turning point for me, this is my story, how I went back to school after 4 years. Then we created this strategy that I call the Partners in Progress strategy. When student leaders, good president, when you begin to see yourself as part of management, you don't see your VC as the only one controlling the school. You see yourself, you can't now. There is 2 words, see yourself and carry yourself. See yourself as this school I am must move forward together with me. I must see how this school move forward. So in any meeting you have with the VC, when he hears what you say, in the next meeting he will say, please go and call the guild president, Partners in Progress. And you are preparing yourself for your future. So that was the next concept we built and it worked for us. And that was what gave birth to my wife becoming the vice president of the student union. And later became the president of the student union. Today we are married and we are fine. 2007 lottery experience, I will save time. Next time when we come for the big training, we talk about that. February 13, 2013 in National State University, there was the problem of water in 2 universities. My university and National State University, no water. My own student union president decided to use the PIP strategy. That okay, there's no water now on campus. How do we solve this problem? Watch that word. How do we solve this problem? He didn't say how will management solve this problem. How will the dean of student, you know what we see with students, the troubles. Or how at least the student come with you with the mindset of how do we solve, not how do you. How do you. But when it changes now, they come with how do we. They are also thinking of how we can solve. So these are some of the things SLED Africa will do for your schools. If your student leaders begin to be part of what we're doing. And we will show you how it has worked in Nigeria. I am not, if I'm supposed to just want to sit down and let the school that have enjoyed it come and tell you. But this guy, instead of doing the we solution, please, no noise, just do that link, Google it, you see it. It's still online. He took a student to the street, simple water. In the same day, took them to the streets. So as a guild president, how many students will lose their lives because you're a guild president? How many students will get rusticated because you're a guild president? Are you advancing your school, or you are retrogressing or stagnating your school? When we get to the big one, we talk about the brand of your school. If you're a guild president and the brand of your school does not increase, it's a shame on you. You think it's only the dean of students that would increase the brand of the school? No. You as a guild president can do something that make the press focus on your school. Am I making sense here? And when the press focus on your school, you know what happens to you? Your certificate carries a better value. When your certificate carries a better value, you have opportunity for jobs. But if the press comes, and what the press comes to do is, your university is fighting, your university is fighting, your university is fighting. Yes, you have the same press attention, but your certificate is degraded. And when your certificate is degraded, where's the job? You say, no, we cannot employ people from that school. They are very troublesome. You know some schools in Nigeria that will say that, hey, I don't want to employ anybody from there because we know that they are very troublesome. Next slide. So we started this vision and it's been working for us. Next slide. This one we'll do it now. Next slide. So I've told you about this. We want to reclaim the identity in Nigeria. So what's the criteria? What we do next? Forward. What we do is that every year, this is what you're looking for, my dear. Every year, we send to Nigerian student leaders, as we're going to begin to give to Rwanda student leaders now. On these 7 criteria, what is your vision? What continuity plan do you have? Out of all, I will dwell on this, and this. Continuity. Okay, a little bit about this. How a student leader have a vision? When you ask them, I don't want to do it now, would have just seen the results now. You ask the student guild president, what's your vision? He will give you one long statement. Then ask the same guild president, what's the vision of the university? He doesn't even know. Why would you be a guild president in a school and you don't understand, dissect, know, carry, wear, swim, eat the vision of the university? And out of that vision is supposed to come the vision of your own union for that 1 year. But we are very, very surprised that a lot of people are guild president leading 5,000, 10,000, 6,000 students, and they don't have a guild vision for the year that is governing. They were going. This is what happens in Nigeria. They don't even know. Continuity. You see a guild president come into power and he wants to start for $20,000, and he spent $5,000 on Miss Unica. 1 day show, sir. 1 day show. $5,000. What's the income of that? Nothing. But as a guild president, how are you thinking of the money that passed through you? You want to make sure by the time you are leaving office, more than that, you are living in the account. But in Nigeria, they want to finish the money. So we are telling them you can go out your business and feed your students. Productivity, peace, and sustainability. We will explain this to you in no distance time, and we'll begin to work with that even in Rwanda. Next slide. So we had our last event in 2018. And how does it work? We give you this criteria, and all the guild presidents in Nigeria work according to that criteria. Then in May 2019, we will be back. Lead Africa with our colleagues here. And all the guild presidents will be having what we call a competition. But we don't like to call it competition, we call it best practice sharing. And sir, how many students are in your school? 2,000. Okay, in your school? 5,000 at a time about school. Huh? Okay. And above. And we'll see have more coming. So we want to know that in 1 year of you being in office, how did you lead your students? What was the vision you run? What was the continuity between the past regime and your own regime? How peaceful was the campus? What did you do around agribusiness? around environmental sustainability, sustainable development goals. What did you do? Then you will present, like 30 of you will present, and we'll now bring out who is the best student guild president in Rwanda. Who's ready for that competition? Let me see. Are you ready? I can't see your hands up. Are you ready? I want to see your hands up. Are you ready? Okay, let me see. Among you here, who will be the best? You don't believe it. So, I present to you among lots of student union leaders in Nigeria. I present to you today, please be a standing and clapping ovation for him, please. Let's rise. The best student union leader in Nigeria. And she's going to come and share with us how. Then after that, we'll listen to the Dean of Students, who has been taking the students for the past 5-6 years, how it has worked for his school. He will share with us, then we'll move to the next.
Thank you very much. Perhaps the nature of introduction that I was given may rise your expectations to what I'm going to tell you. But you just have to take whatever I tell you from an amateur baby leader who is still under training. Thank you very much. Good morning. I am Akilah Institute. I said earlier, you can simply call me Abdul, and I'm a Nigerian, of course, from Paris. Voice. Easily said. Having heard or listened to Mr. Femi, we are already introduced to the transformation. He's doing or struggling to change this mindset or leadership problem that the young leaders are facing. Indeed, when we entered the university, let me share a very quick story. We were expecting that being a student leader has to do with the volume of your voice, how you are able to present yourself as someone who is radical, not ideological radicalism, of course, radical in terms of violence, in terms of when I say I must do this, no amount of convincing, no amount of reasonable talks will convince me to stop. I'm going to unleash my monster tendencies on people, and how we are able to amicably benefit from that transformation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, without much wasting of our time, I would like to introduce you to my university, which of course is a young university in Nigeria that is established not more than 12 years ago. It is called LEAD Rwanda University. It is a state-owned university that is established by the major state government back there in 2005, and the academic activities in the university commenced are not doing better than what we have actually set ourselves to achieve. But I am happy to inform you that today we are proudly competing with the grand universities that we slide. Now, talking about vision, we as a union, of course, learning from our predecessor, having attended the big program last year, when he returned, he briefed us and recommended a lot of things to us. One of them is the vision. That the vision of the student union should in a way be patterned in line with the vision of the university. So what we call the room that the university is trying to achieve. But if the university has its own grand vision, the union's vision can be a sort of mini stuff that can aid the university in achieving its goals and potentials. So our vision, the vision of IDB University is to produce world-class university, to produce world-class university that is worthy of competition and produce a world-class center of learning that is driven by people, partnership, and ideas. Of course, by driven by people. We make discussions. There's a problem. We bring all hands on deck to talk about the issue. Everybody brings his idea. How do we progress? I told you earlier, and this is what we get on weekly basis. We account for whatever we get from the business center. We get 7,500 naira from the business center. That's equal to about $20-something on weekly basis from a particular business. And for 16 weeks, we're able to make 120,000 naira. We have 3 cycles that are, we are killing, we're using one stone to kill 2 birds. We are making money, and we're also easing the transportation of the students to the university campus. We have cases of the host community, Okada riders, bicycle riders, motorcycle riders, or cyclists trying to extort money from students. So what we do, we tricycle so that students' transportation will be eased. Now we are getting money, and we are also catering for the welfare of the students. Please slide. Next slide. Still on accountability. Now agribusiness and food sovereignty. Yeah, okay. Agribusiness and food sovereignty. Agribusiness is one of the leading businesses. Of course, one of the world's most accepted businesses, agriculture. We have also tapped into the agricultural sector. The university farm is there. We discussed with the university management. They gave us some pieces of land. We farm rice. 10 hectares of land were allocated to us from the school farm, and we plow it for this amount, 50,000 naira. We use 200 liters of petrol or diesel to fuel the school's tractor to plow the land for us. We planted rice, this upland variety, at 750,000 naira, and all of this for Mashi, this herbicide, and all the summary. So we have a rice farm in summary. That's what this
SUG rice.
We have a rice.
Please can clap for them for this.
Land was freshly allocated when it was plowed, and please next slide. Agri-business. These are the university. Some of you might be wondering, do they own these cows? No. These are the university cows. We have about 5 or so from the university cattle. Because of my business mindedness, last year it was close to Salah, Muslims festival, and
you saw that Muslim festival.
Yes, that is the intention of organizing the reports. So next slide. Our poultry. This is the school poultry. I think about 80% of the chickens here are owned by us. Not the school.
80% owned by student leaders.
Next slide.
Of the chickens.
Now, in terms of conduciveness, there are several restaurants in the campus. Now, what we do is, in order to avoid natural tendencies of human beings, it's natural at times for people to try to exploit others when they are the only ones, when they are enjoying monopoly. So what we do is, of all the canteens or cafeteria we have in the university, we organize a sort of competition where the best restaurant will be awarded. And these are the criteria we set for awarding the best restaurant. Affordability, how affordable is the restaurant? Of course, not that it will be affordable and the food is not eatable. It must be eatable. The different varieties of meal you have, hygienic, how often you operate, and the last one is friendliness of the workers. So when we organize stuff like this, the best restaurant is usually recommended to the school management. And the school management, in case of official needs, emergency official needs, they patronize these restaurants just in favor of the students. So everybody is competing to see that it wins the next best restaurant in the campus. Next slide. Productivity. Productivity is what have you done new? a lot of things are on that. How have you come up with a new thing? What is not there that you have now brought? And these are the few things we were able to do. Provision of water tanks, additional water tanks I told you earlier. We bought an additional hose, of course, to ease our own comfort. We bought additional recycles to support the business. Construction of union realization center, air freshener, whatever. All these things will be presented. Organized tutorials. Entrepreneurship. This is actually a new dimension. School fees, loans, shooting of SVD immediately, production of people kits, whatever, address the partners. Now, this is the most important. I think we must have won this best productive student union for this. Entrepreneurship. The world is now going, everything is now technology based. So we come up with ideas, people's fields, looking for gossips around. We now thought of it. Okay, since it's more convenient, when we sleep, the last thing we touch is our phone. And when we wake up in the morning, instead of prayers, the first thing we touch is still our phones. So we come up with an idea of partnering with Google to see how they are going to train our students to earn money online. This was actually successful. In fact, an application that is now official in my university was produced by one of these students that Google trained. I have the application in my phone, one ebook guide something. It's an application that was designed by the beneficiary of this program to ease students running in the campus. If you are new in the university, all you need to do is to send this application, and everything you need to know about the university is there, ranging from personal to academic activities. Some students were unable to pay their school fees. From the process we had in our businesses, we offer them loan, which most of them are now paying back. Almost all are even paid.
We're going to have someone from LEAD Rwanda. They are organizing this space, and like we said, we are trying to incorporate what Nigeria is doing into what we have already started, and we've already run a pilot training with Akilah University, Akilah Institute. So I'm going to invite a representative of LEAD Rwanda to show us what the model looks like, what the program is going to be about, the stages involved. Then we are also going to show you something small from the pilot training we have with Akilah.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vincent, as I introduced myself earlier. And we had new entrants. I'd like to give them space to introduce themselves. If you came, I wouldn't say late, because we're expecting you anyway. But if you came after introduction, please take the space to introduce yourself.
Good evening, everybody. I'm called Vincent Desiree, the president for URW campus.
Welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Tony Minigo. I am Vice President of Students Committee at Kepler University at Chimirongo.
My name is Kriton Sendawasanze. I'm also a member of LEAD, and I'm very happy to be here training you. Thank you.
Hi everyone. Hi. My name is John Babas. I'm a journalist from the New Times.
We need to appreciate the Nigerian team for a wonderful presentation. Thank you so much. You set the space and you set the real pace. So thank you so much, and I would like to take you through the program, the way we designed it, called Leaders Program. So LEAD itself stands for Leadership, Entrepreneurship, and Accountability for Development. And it is an organization that was formed by YALI Fellows, the Young African Leaders Initiative Fellows, Mandela Washington Fellows, as they call it. So we are deep in cohorts. We are nearly
More than 58.
So we are more than 58, but also have those who went to the regional centers in Nairobi. They're also a big number. And we also have the YALI network in general. So we said there's so much we've learned from the support of the youth government, and how can we
give back to our community. So that's why we thought about developing the Leaders Program. And we could not address all the issues. We said, let us take one segment of our population that is very sensitive and critical. Then we chose leaders, the university leaders. So when we were having a conversation with Femi, and I was very excited because his mentor appears to be my mentor. So he's the one who connected us. And so I was trying to explain to him what we want to do. Then he said, that's exactly what we are doing. I said, okay, so this is perfect timing. Let us join hands and make a huge impact. So the vision we had was for Rwanda, he had for Nigeria, and now it becomes the African dream. Wow. And here we are to set the tone and the pace, as I said. So about the program, I'm going to talk about the experience cycle. As I said, the target population are university students, but specifically the guild councils or the guild unions. So the first step is about introduction, the way it is right now. So you have to understand what it is about the program. So I put leaders, experience cycle. Can you see here? Can you see? Yes. So we start with the introduction. You get to understand what it is about the program, which is exactly what I'm going to do today. So after the introduction, we'll go into the training. And in the training, we have criteria that Femi and the team talked about earlier. The backups, the vision, continuity, accountability, productivity, peace and sustainability.
Business.
Yeah, so we have, what we have chosen right? So we are going to get into deep understanding of all the criteria and how do they apply to our personal development and development of our own institutions and development of our country. So remember, lead ties with development. So it's a leadership, entrepreneurship, and accountability for development. So when we talk about development, it's either development of an individual that translates into development of a community, a society, a country, and the world at large. So after training, there's going to be a series of coaching and mentorship. So coaching and mentorship. We are very lucky and happy to have ISEC as our partners. Yeah. And maybe I should have introduced myself, given the experience I had when I was still at campus. It's still the same experience with like families. So I graduated in 2007. I went to KIST. Anybody from KIST here? At least someone from UR. Yeah, and I was in the Department of Sports as lead of students. And my motivation back then to run for leadership role was to get a free meal and a free room. I'm being honest. Nothing about impact. I was so selfish. I wanted to get a free meal and a free room. Because as a leader, you're not going to pay anything. So everything was covered for by the institution. And my passion came to surface when I was among the co-founders of ISEC in Rwanda. That was back in 2006. Is when I tried to understand my role as a community player, my role as an agent of change. And today, I serve as the board chair of ISEC in Rwanda. And I'm very happy to have as our partners in this program. Please join me to appreciate ISEC. That's wonderful. So we are having them as implementing partners in terms of training and also coaching. In the process of training, there are so many other aspects of leadership, not just leadership as a definition, but in terms of application. How do you apply leadership in real life? How do you get into the community and identify a need, come as a team, brainstorm, come up with a solution and go out and implement it. And then you also go back and verify whether the need that was addressed, the need that was identified is the real need that was actually addressed. So it's a complete cycle. Then after coaching and mentorship, we shall have a tournament that I spoke about. And it will definitely depict all the criteria and all the elements that you are trained on. Whether or not you have been able to apply it, that will be seen right here. And in this process of coaching and mentorship, I would like to encourage the leadership here at different universities that you have to be very intentional. You have 5,000 youth that you are leading. Regardless of the number, they have to follow you. You're a leader and they're followers. But do you take them as stakeholders? Don't think that they are handicapped. They also have ideas and their contribution should be so remarkable in the process. And one of the tips that I'd like to give to you in terms of partnership and collaboration, it doesn't hurt if you pick from your university lecturers and you elect a board of advisors or advisory council. So that when you have ideas, you are brainstorming, you also have another board that you want to present your ideas to. They can challenge you, but most importantly, they are going to support you. They're going to give you ideas, they're going to challenge your ideas as well, but you're going to learn from their experience. That's part of coaching and mentorship. And you can also organize different sessions where you invite experts in the field that you're having issues on. It could be in entrepreneurship. You have so many successful entrepreneurs out there. In terms of leadership, there are so many leaders we have out there. And we do not want to work in silos. We want to collaborate. We want to invite people on the table, as Mr. Dean said. Let us invite different partners. Let us have real partnership, intentional partnership, to address our own challenges. And so, in the competition, I will not talk much about the tournament because it was already presented in his slides. We are going to have different teams from different universities talk about their successes, their achievements, what you have been able to do in terms of continuity. I remember during my time in university, before the end of my tenure, there was no penny in our accounts. It was one of our purpose. Finish it before you leave. So it should be a different mindset, right? It should be a different mindset. Don't finish it before you leave. Multiply, right? If today you have 1 million and you need 3 million, your successor are going to maybe also multiply from 3 to 9. Then the successor, and that's continuity. So if we're having challenges today and you're addressing them, don't put it in a way that your successor should not even find out what you're trying to do. Make it easy for them to understand and pick it up from there. Right? That's exactly what continuity means. And it also it leads to sustainability. And also, after the tournament, when we have the best achiever or the winner of the competition, as Penny said, we want to make sure that we give you, it's a reward, but also it's a learning experience. Exposure. It's exposure. You go to another country, you go to Nigeria, see how systems work. Go and network. Go and actually network with a purpose.
Go and see his school.
Go and see his school. Is it true as I said? Make sure that you identify like-minded people. You network and you can also do business because our governments are doing their best to make sure that there's free movement of people and services. So let us take that advantage. When you go to Nigeria, when you go to another country and you're not asking for a visa, this is our time, guys. This is your time. We are nearly getting to adulthood. So this is your time. Take advantage of what our governments are doing today. We should be on the forefront. We should be ready to take up the challenge and turn it into the opportunity. So after the tournament, we shall have internship. So we try, it is our mandate as implementing partners to make sure that we have as many partners as possible, and we want to make sure that we get as many placements as possible for the leaders of universities. And by doing so, we have ISEC that has representation in 126 countries around the world. We have the US Embassy, we have our governments, different government institutions. It could be private or public, even the civil society. We want to make sure that we create meaningful partnership. And we are not going to be selling you. You will have already sold yourself. During the course of this experience, you have learned almost what you need. You have acquired the right tools you need to go out and make an impact. So we are not selling you, we are not asking the institution to take you. Actually, they are asking us to have you, because they see you as a potential employee in the future. So they want to give you the space, test your ability, and guess what? You're just going to take over. So during the internship, this is where again you go back to your respective institutions to apply the skills that you have already learned, and it is also your opportunity to make an impact in any institution that will have you as an intern. After here, now you become a LEAD fellow. By becoming a LEAD fellow, here you head for the future. You head for the future. But we want your experience. We want you back on the program. We want you to act as a mentor, as a coach, because we even want you to go back to your own university, see the leadership that is there, the team that is there, and share your experience, your personal experience. Share the experience along the cycle. And I believe that at this point, you might be employed, or you are running your own business. It could be local, regional, or international. You'll be somewhere, and you'll be someone, I believe. Do you? Do you believe so? So, now that you are someone in a good position, now it is your time to give back to the community. So, by giving back to the community, that's when now you help us to run another cycle. And 10, 20 years from now, you are going to be the leaders of this country, or these countries, of the continent. And because you have the right mindset, we are going to write the narratives of our own leadership. We are going to bend the curve in a different direction, where even our successors, our young brothers, or even our kids, will have the right experience. They will talk about our stories, and they have their own stories, but it should be a different story, a different set of experiences. Right? So that's, in brief, the Leaders Program. Okay. That's the Leaders Program. So in the process, of course, from the training to the tournament, we are going to have a tailored program, especially during the tournament, where we have to create spaces to be inspired. If we are talking about accountability, we want to come and invite the members of our parliament to come and speak about accountability, for all of us to be inspired. If we are talking about entrepreneurship, we have the CEOs of the private sector let them come talk to us about entrepreneurship and how it is linked to the country development or even personal development. If you are talking about leadership, real leadership, intentional leadership, transformational leadership, let us call the CEO of RGB, talk to us about governance. So we learn from different people and we paint our own picture because that's their experience, but it inspires you enough to paint your own picture. And as I said, I'm very sure if you stand somewhere sometime in the future, talk about your experience, it will not be as mine or as famous. You will say that during your term, you are very intentional and you are among the pioneers of this program. And you talk about what you left on the account. You talk about the products and the projects that you initiated to completion. You talk about the impact of your own team during your stay or during your tenure at university level. So you'll have enough to say. You have a very good story. So as I said, I didn't have much to say about my time at university because I got what I wanted. I had a free room and a free meal. I was contented and I was happy. So please, let us have a different experience and tell a different story, but relevant story. So I want to be mindful of your time. And so this is about the program and all the steps along the experience cycle. The good news that we had our first pilot. We had a collaboration with Akilah Institute of Women, and it became a success to me because they all were eager and excited to understand and perceive this vision, and they want to be the first one out there to try it out. So we had a training back in October. It was in October, and it was very successful. Actually, these are some of the pictures we took at the American corner. It's where the training took place from. And I would like to invite, it's either Nana or Josephine. Let me invite you together. Because, remember, I don't want to take the space. We work as a team. And this, it should go back to you, even though you'll be the boss in the house. But remember that everybody has something to contribute. Yeah? So, in the spirit of a team, I'd like to invite Nana to take over from me.
Thank you
so much for your attention.
Here with my team, so I'll invite someone from my team also to share, because I wasn't around for the entire planet. I happened to be outside for other engagement. But I'll share from the part I was involved in. So this was the first meeting where it all started. The first meeting, you can see I'm not in the picture, it was attended by my colleagues. Over there, they met with the team from LEAD Rwanda. They brainstormed on all of this happening today. This was where this vision was painted. So this is more of a pictorial perspective of our journey so far. And we hope that it will keep being beautiful. So this was when it started. They met there, brainstormed, amazing guys. You can see it was very insightful. Then we had another meeting when, yes, a very hot meeting. Yes, it was very hot. Coming up with this concept was not easy. A lot of perspectives we had to go about. We spent over 6 hours. We had to put the deliberations on hold. 8 hours.
To eat fufu?
Yes, to eat, come back, fight again, try to make it perfect to fit the Rwandan perspective. So this thing didn't just come out of nowhere. It's been a lot of brainstorming, a lot of synergy, we had to map out the whole vision. We had to dig to create something perfect that would work for us. So then after all of this, we successfully had our first pilot training. Thank you, Akilah, for allowing us to use you for this pilot training. So this was the first day at Akilah. We had Femi there. Fortunately, he was in Rwanda with us, so he took time off his schedules to help us structure everything. The American Embassy, the LEAD fellows were there. Yearly fellows were also there to inspire and make the program very successful. So these are some of the beneficiaries. These are student guild leaders of Akilah. So this is part of this pillar, the training pillar. So this is how it's going to look like. So now that we've introduced, the next thing that is going to be happening is the training space, which we would use our VCAPS model. So these people they were fortunate to enjoy the VCAPS model fresh. But still we have more stuff that we'll be presenting to you. Don't feel that it's... So on the second day, we also had... was it 2 days or 3 days? 2 days. Yes, it was 2 days. So the training wouldn't just be 1 day, it's something continuous. We have follow-ups, we have continuous engagement. So the second day you can see me over here seated on the floor with the students, guild leaders, trying to help them on how they can plan for their year. We have facilitators we had someone from Kenya who used to be a former ISEC member, Mr. Kuros, he was there to share his experience. We had the lead team, everyone was there. So this is how it's going to look like. We did trainings on productivity, we did trainings on accountability, we did trainings on teamwork, continuity, a lot of amazing activities. I don't know if you have pictures of the toys and all of that, but we had a lot of engaging activities.
We became children.
Yeah, we became children. Like he said, this is a youthful program, so it's not like lectures. That's why you see all of us on the floor. No matter how old you are, we just sit down together to brainstorm and make things work. So this is how the training is going to look like. And if Josephine has anything to add, I invite her to.
Those are the pillars behind the pillars.
Thank you very much, Nana. Two things that I would want to add on here is that as much as previously we had worked with Akilah on other programs and initiatives, but it came out from them expressing the need, and they were hungry to support their students' council. And they had already identified the gaps, and they were very sure about what the students need, which helped us a lot in coming up with all this, because we took their ideas on as a reflection of what might be the case for other universities or higher institutions of learning here in the country, but also the fact that ISEC is also in other different universities here in Rwanda. It was very helpful to us. But what I really want to emphasize on is that the deans who are here, we are fortunate to have you, and we really value your position and the authority you drive in your institutions. We are going to rely so much on you to see that this works. Without you, that I say it out loud, because we can't go anywhere without it. And then the next, the energy, the vibrance, the hunger that the students expressed all the time. As much as we haven't got much into this stage of coaching and mentorship, they are already, actually they want to be ahead so fast. But there are certain steps that we need to take so that we can guide them and support them the better. So the students, Akilah, when you get back, please thank them for us, that they still really want to learn, and from the time the training happened, we want to keep that going. And we want to see all that they need to learn, all that they need to apply to express them. We are here, we've already started this, and we are not going back anymore. The time we sat down and planned all that and brainstormed and all the insights that came out, it was a one-way ticket. So no going back, we're heading forward, and I thank you very much.
Wow.
So, since I raised the hand, I will be brief. So, I want to emphasize on something. We are not going to train you. No, we are going to help you to bring what you have out. So we will not give you 10 characteristics of a good reader. We will not give you motivation speaks. No. we will give you the VCAPs. We will give you something that is measurable. We will not tell you to be on time, but we will know you are not on time if you didn't do the productivity. You are getting me? So we need also to be accountable. That's where SLED comes. We train you, we help you to do the project, to learn the school, but we need to know if you really get something that is tangible. Another thing I want to emphasize is leadership. Leadership is not only political. There is different kind of leadership. There is leadership in the business. There is leadership in non-profits. So we want to widen the view of leadership. So if you have an interest in business, we can help you to be a big leader in the business industry. So don't focus on political. I emphasize on something she said also on the deans. We rely on you on one reason. Grade council come and go, you stay. So if you really want this to happen, we need you on board. Not as a beneficiaries, but as partner. We need you very much, and we need this to come from you, and we will like the feedback. So we feed you what you want to have. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I know I'm standing between you and lunch. So again, I want to appreciate you all for this moment. For those who have shared their experiences, we are going to have interaction among ourselves. The guild presidents, I don't know if you ever had time to meet as a team together to share experiences, because again, there are so many challenges that you share in common, and there are some that are very specific to your institutions. So this gives you a platform to even share the experience. And the same is true for the Dean of Students. Please, we will work together with you and make sure that we have the real platform to share experiences. To share the experiences among yourselves, and also as we open up and expand to other countries, then until we have a platform for the African Dean of Students sitting on the same table, discussing, influencing the curriculum of education in Africa, because we don't want to be the same continent the way we have been described for so long. This is our time to change or to rewrite our narratives, as I said earlier. So I thank you all, and I'd like to invite you, Jamie, to have lunch, and I also invite you to the afternoon sessions. Thank you so much.
So after lunch, we sent the emails. We were supposed to close at 4, and we are going to close at 4. So after lunch, we are going to have the stakeholders forum. So the deans will have the deans forum. Students Guild leaders will also have the Students Guild forum. So we are going to have lunch for 20 minutes. Yeah, 20 minutes. And then after 20 minutes, we converge here again. Then we have our breakout spaces. So during lunch, also try to engage with each other. Let's keep this conversation going. Let's try to start the conversation so that during the Dean's Forum and the Students Guild Forum, it's easier for us to just continue. So I hope you enjoy your lunch and make connections whilst you have lunch. So we can all leave for lunch.
In the afternoon, as we were in the group of the guild presidents, we learned about the challenges, and some proposed a solution and some demonstrated how they are moving forward with the challenges that they are facing. They are facing all they have found in their new offices. And we came to realize that even though in the morning we were told a story about our colleague from Nigeria, we found out that the context, even though what we are doing happens in the university vicinity, but the contexts are different. They are different as we're in Rwanda. The story we told was in Nigeria, but there are so many things that we can learn from the Nigerian context and apply it to the Rwandan context. Another thing we came to see that, like, I personally come from a university where we have a diverse city, a community which is very diverse, with a community of made of 15 countries, people from the 15 countries, and we saw that the colleagues, the other guild presidents, for them they have a very big community where we have a community of 12,000 people, and which is quite tricky for them for now to like manage and bring it together. But the most important thing that we've learned so far, they can even give a testimony of it. It's about the CSR, how to use it. Even though we didn't go into the details, but I think right now, like someone from Huye, right now you know that you can make good use of the bank that all the 12,000 students use. And another thing we've learned is we've shared experience not only with the president from Nigeria, but also with the leader of LEAD. They gave the information we had was an eye-opening information, and I believe in the future we are going to make use of it. And if we happen to get a chance again to come to such gatherings, we look forward to learn more, and count on us. We are going to make, there is a change we are going to make. I believe we are not leaving the same as we came. Yeah.
Lead President of the LEAD Kigali campus. As I'm here, I'm very, very happy to be here because I had the experience about leadership and increasing the talent which is in me, and what can I do for developing our country, our Africa in general, instead of depending on others, we can handling it. And then after that, I had experience about others, what can they do in their activities. As I'm here as a good president or a leader of other students, I have main target on or vision or mission to be achieved in my mandate or in my activities of the
when you were in office.
Yes.
So what did you learn from the Nigerian president? Handling problems. Peacefully. So are you ready for SLED 2019?
Yes, of course I am.
And you're going to win?
Yeah.
Okay, that's beautiful.
My name is Akilah. I'm a guild president of UTB, University of Tourism and Technology Business Studies. I got a chance to meet the experienced people. I have listened many things. So how to can manage our students and how to can achieve and perform our tasks. Yeah, it's a good moment and pleasure to be here.
Yeah. So are you ready for SLED 2019?
Yes.
Winning? Yeah, now who wins now?
This is Desiree, the president from the campus. Thank you for taking this time for training. I learned many things from using our resources near and mobilizing our followers or students. How can you handle issue without using another? Yeah. And the next one is how can you develop your ideas? Just creating another channel, or borrowing another idea, new ones, to use another private companies in terms of corporate socialism and marketing it. but the generating benefits from both sides.
That's right.
There are many things. How can you share the other people's? How can you motivate the others? Things like that.
Wow, that's beautiful. So are you ready for SLED 2019? Are you willing to compete?
Yeah, as usual.
Will you be winning?
Yeah, I think.
You think so? Okay, thank you so much. Started just like a full discussion, and here we are today. How do you feel about discussion about 4 months ago? Where we are today?
I feel so excited and I see it happening. It was once a dream, but I see it becoming reality. And so it's no longer a grand dream, but a dream. I see the African dream.
Wow. What we are talking about now is not about LEAD Nigeria or LEAD Rwanda. We say SLED Africa. Thank you. Okay, guys, it's been a wonderful time sitting together. Just turning about 4 or 5 months ago in that room, in that living room where we're digging it out, and in just one statement, then till now, how do you feel where we are now?
From myself, I think this is a big progress since we start this project program. We wanted to approach leaders, universities, and make them aware of their responsibilities and help them to see how they can achieve more of what they are planning. So at this stage, I think we have done a big improvement, and since we have more of the universities now, it's a good thing.
It's a good move. Yeah. This is the man, he's just been there on WhatsApp, on calls and everything, and he landed us in Rwanda without using airplane. Nana, how's it going? What do you feel 4 months ago to now?
So far so good, considering the fact that, like you said, it started as a dream, and seeing all of this kickstart just within 4 months, it's very inspirational for us. And for my team and I, we can only say we are very much energized and excited about the future of SLED Africa. Thank you.
That's powerful. Yes. Yeah. Just keep quiet as if nothing is happening, but it's making it happen. So, what's ISEC going to give us more as this project rolls on?
What I can say about ISEC is I've benefited so much from ISEC's leadership opportunities, and I'm really glad that someone is actually coming out to address leaders and do something like what ISEC is doing, but now for the potential future leaders of this country. So as I have always been saying, whether in the meetings that we had or even to my friends, is I'm really proud to be part of something that is actually having the potential to define the future of this country and even this continent. So I'm really happy to be part of this.
Wow! The last side there is Uma. Uma, you've seen, you've seen SLED Nigeria.
Yeah.
We see you as the best student union president in Nigeria. And you were to go on all expense paid trip outside. Here you are in Kigali, seeing SLED Nigeria becoming SLED Africa. How do you feel being part of this?
Well, from the beginning, I've always felt good. My first encounter with SLED was great. You know, they are pursuing an African dream, molding future young leaders, which I am proud to say that I'm a product of SLED Nigeria. Now I'm here witnessing SLED Africa. This is what every African should actually urge for in life. Our prayer is just that the vision should be realized in the end, and we, the younger ones, should be able to sustain what these people are doing for us. It's great.
Wow. And I don't know, 4 months ago I looked at this belly. Please, what is the secret behind the brain and the belly?
It's a big brain, big body. So, when I reflected like 4 months ago, I didn't think it would go on this like this. But some signs showed me that this thing is going to happen. In the beginning, before we meet everyone, we were talking and we found that Josephine and Karimba, they have that idea of the project in their mind differently. So when we discussed, they say, oh, I want to do that. Then we meet you guys. You were doing that things there. Then we found that Isaac was in the Oral University.
Wow.
So he said, that's the sign. We're gonna make this thing fly. So I'm proud of what we have achieved so far, and I have a big dream for this. And I'm very happy that I'm talking with the future leaders today. So when they win the offices, I will go without knocking.
Wow, that's powerful.
We hope this will be a change, and that no one will ever say African like in bad manner. So that 50 years back in the future, when someone say that's African time, African leadership, it will be the best in the world. And we think these things that we hear will be a part of it.
Wow. And when you see us smile, when you see us stand, when you see us move, when you see us roll, definitely there's a woman behind. There's a woman beside. There's one gingering us and making us go. Josephine! 4 months, we were in the parlor there, digging it out. Here we are today. How do you feel?
Excitement, more energized, and the revelation of the idea. I now have more faith and belief in the idea, because I'm now seeing that happening. Us being here today, 4 months ago, when we are just a discussion, it's really so inspiring. And today was so phenomenal because having the deans of students in the room, it made a difference because they immediately connected with the idea. Immediately, right away. So which emphasized on the importance of what we stand for and why we are here today. And well, we all know that to pull this off, it needs resources, not only financial, but also others, manpower and all that, in kind, yes, in kind. So all of us here, apart from LEAD Transformative Initiative from, in Nigeria, who are full-time and 100% working on this every day, here in Rwanda, all of us, we are doing so many different things. But putting in our time, our brains, and also resources to see that this is pulled off, it's really, that shows also.
Just give me Isaac clap.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we wouldn't say more than this for today. We would definitely be touring campuses tomorrow and visit some other centers, which is what the delegate from Nigeria want to say. Today it might look like this, but this vision is redefining what leadership in Africa is supposed to be. So it's no longer about LEAD Nigeria, no longer about LEAD Rwanda. It's not about what? SLED Africa. See you there.
University, Mr. Geoffrey Kagame, also come forward. Janet. So these two people, our forefathers in leadership today, are going to help us, Janet. They are going to help us to dress up the office title and acknowledgement dress to our Excellency the President, Mr. Charles Kagame. you can help them, they dress you up, 2 of them, you can have a group photo, and then you put it on. When you are smart, I know you're a gentleman, and it is quite important to lead people who love and trust you. Amen. Wow. Let us also have the Vice Guild President getting the office attire and assurance dress. Mr. Mugabo Ibe.
Student guild leaders have a platform that has authority. Now when they speak, they are being heard. But it's very, very demeaning and very, very pitiful that they are being heard, but they have no conflict. I don't know if you agree with me, I'm just looking at it over time. But they are standing on the platform, they are being seen. They are being heard, but what are they saying? So, having gone through that myself, thinking that leadership in Nigeria, then you need to be violent, you need to be tough. That was what we see a good leader to be in Nigeria, and I regret it. I did a turnaround and began to push forth. Let us begin to challenge student leaders to speak up and act right. So if the educational system is deficient, it's not good. What are you saying about it? What are you saying about the curriculum? See, in Nigeria, we still see lecturers who still teach with 1978 notebook. Oh my God. I mean, my university then, before we spoke and we challenged it, they still teach Fortran 77. The curriculum that was developed in 1977. Oh, yes. They still teach it 2 years ago. So, like, these are the things student guild leaders should be able to speak up about that. We don't want this curriculum. I want to leave UTB and be able to compete with an Harvard graduate. Starting from the Nigerian perspective. So, we said, let's create a forum where we help the guild leaders have the right perspectives that gives them the right content, and they use their platform very well to support management. Because management, you will only work with what is at your disposal. But when this, if you now go to a meeting of education and say, we want this, they will think you want something for UTB. But when the guild president stands face to face with the Minister of Education and says, we want this, they know the student wants it. And what is the essence of we working, if not for the future of our country? But when you say it now, it's like, oh, this VC, you want something for himself. But when they begin to demand for their future, begin to speak for what they need, and they are speaking with content, with fact and figures, then some things will become easy for you. So what we decided to do is to have a student support dimension for the work you've been doing over the time by training your guild leaders. You got another dimension to it. If you now want to train your guild leaders on what they should go and say to government, they could call it sabotage and say you are getting a river. So it's good to have an external body who you trust that is sharing with the guild. I've spent some 30 minutes with them downstairs asking that this is a university of tourism and business. Guys, what is the business that the student union is doing? We've talked about this so much as a union, and they told me the company that is working with them on driving permits had dropped a photocopier in the office, and I said it should be more than that. So the wall, I saw the logo, the banner of the company there, and we're teaching them corporate social responsibilities. That the VC cannot become a beggar everywhere speaking to organizations. There are a lot of banks that your students have accounts in. What has that bank done for this university? My VC, you are putting over 5,000 students' school fees in that bank account. So if they cooperate with you, and you write to those banks, we told them yesterday too that Rwanda is becoming the face of Africa. A lot of organizations are coming here. So why don't you stand? Tourism, yeah, it's selling here. So you guys are even standing on a very wonderful platform that needs to get things going on very well. But they need to be trained on this. That's why we are giving this level of support. While you are doing the academic aspect, let us do the soft skills aspect to that. So it has been working in Nigeria and it's helped a lot of schools transform. One of our testimony of organization is seated by my side, the Dean of Students of Ibrahim Muslim University. We've been together like this for almost 6-7 years, and the student leaders have been going through our training. And we now created what we call Student Leaders Training and Tournament. So we train them, which ISEC will do with those guys. Then we place a demand that in 6 months' time, we want to check, put you side by side with King University, put you side by side with University of Rwanda, put you side by side with University of Kigali, and show us what you have done with the resources at your disposal. How have you worked with management? Are you valuable at the management meeting? Can the VC say that this meeting cannot start if the guild president is not here, because you know that when the guild president comes, sense has come. It's just a guild president who is just there and you have the paraphernalia of I'm in charge of this 5,000 students. He's a guy and I have the babes to myself, I have everything to myself. As happens there with some of my guys in Nigeria. So sir, this is one of the reasons we are building this concept to see, put them on their feet, challenge them to challenge themselves, and check their scorecard with others. So I'm happy to present to you that when we did in Nigeria 2018, here is the best guild leader in Nigeria. And here is on an all-expense paid trip for winning that tournament. He is here on an all-expense paid trip to Kigali to see the latest face of Africa. To see, that's why he's touring institutions now, seeing what is happening in Rwanda, seeing the system, seeing the good and the bad of it, and he's taking this back home. At the same time, we are concepting to start that of Rwanda. So ISEC is working with us. I have another partner here called LEAD Rwanda. They would have time to train your guys on 7 cardinal points. It's called vision. As a guild council, what is your vision? Time will fail me to do that because of this short time we have, but let me just talk about that. It's painful to us to know that a lot of guild council members as a team don't have a vision. Those that say they have vision, this is one that is so touching, that say they have a vision, don't know their university vision. So how dare you have a vision as a guild leader when you don't know and understand your university vision? And your university vision and your own vision is supposed to be better in line. So this is one of the things that we share so much, not to talk of continuity, accountability, productivity, peace, and sustainability. So this is the training that we're going to give to them. And by May 2019, we're going to have a LEAD Rwanda competition where your guys will be standing side by side with other universities and saying, this is what we have done in the past 1 year, 2 years, and so on and so on to say. And lastly, is that this becomes a pipeline for the future of Rwanda. We see that there's a strong link between campus and country. In the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years, you might not be here. Somebody from this campus might be here. Or Kagame will not be here in the next 20 years. Who knows if one of these guys will be there? But the big question is, are we investing in them, in leadership? We can teach them tourism.
You can teach them economics. You can teach them, but that is not leadership. Let us see them become leaders. That's what we are doing. Yeah. I think we just contribute and did. Okay.
Good afternoon, sir. Once again, the co-founder of the Nigerian Lay Adventists of Kigali. So, and as you all know, like in Nigeria, you know, the population, the number of graduates that university produced is very, very high. Yeah. So, and the government cannot what? At least include everybody.
No single government.
So I don't know how it is in the So yes. So but through this,
you need to engineer and find a road.
Through this, actually, some of them at least also becoming player of labor. Yeah, and actually I'm happy when one of them, the what is her name, the Minister of she has a company that is she's training the people. So and even the president, I think I've seen it. Yeah. He said he has this.
So we have challenged him that what are you doing?
So like the essence is this: we wanted to go beyond that. So and at the same time again, the guilds for this university should not be depending on the dues they are paid for student loan. So they should have other source of what income, and also have these politicians and some philanthropists that can also write a letter to soliciting for their support. So what we expect them to have at least other things, at least like what we got there, how much photocopy. So they can also from their own IDR, apart from what they have in there. I was expecting this one is from that company, from that driving company, but this is what we got from our own IDR. We don't know. So, but with this, you know, we can also go into transportation, like in our university. I think there is going to be some about that. We have this their own regime. We inherited about 5 tricycles, but during his own regime, they bought additional tricycles.
Using the transportation program.
Yes. So these are things actually they can think of all this doing so that to also reduce the hardship of that. Because this is what is your impact on the students that you are representing. And the essence is for them to go and be the good leader of tomorrow.
We are trying tomorrow. So, Mr. President.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Much has been said. I shouldn't say anything just to comment your leadership style. Many people have been testifying leadership style. Not relent, look at what you learn. I was inspired when I heard that one of the best vice chancellors really wishing to become one best vice chancellor, not in Nigeria or in Africa. Yes. And whatever support we need as good leaders under your leadership.
Mine is really to appreciate your gesture, choosing UTB as one of the university you have to visit, thanks to leaders. This is a young university, by the way, because it started only in 2006. And even 2006 up to 2007 it was just a vocational training institution offering only short courses. But in 2008, that is the time we became a full-fledged university. We started in 2008 as a university with only 2 departments. In 2009, we brought in 2 additional departments. And in 2010, we created a second campus in Rubavu on the border of DRC. 2012, we brought in as a program. Now it is really a full-fledged university with 4 faculties. The faculty of hospitality and tourism, the faculty of business studies, the faculty of applied sciences and technology, and the faculty of arts and social sciences. So today, when we started the university, we started with only 455 students. today we are talking about 7 subjects. Talking about the student union, it started in 2009 at that time. And what we said they are our partners. Actually what we are doing, they are the core center of whatever we are doing, because we consider them as our clients, and therefore they are key. If they are here, that is our essence of behavior.
That's right.
If they are not there,
let's close our shop.
So, yes. So since that time, we consider them as a partner in the management. And the good thing in Rwanda, the student union, they are part and parcel of the management section. They are part of the university academic senate, which is the highest organ. They are part of so many leadership. They are always part of daily management. And we feel that supporting them to become future leaders is very, very important for us. Because once we want to recruit, because each year at least we make sure there are 2 or 3 students who are recruited as our staff. That is because not only we have the capital of the institution, but also they are among the best who can really take to the next step the culture of the institution. So for us that is very important, and they belong to different organizations, locally organized student union association, but also in the region and even in Africa. They are always represented in different meetings convening the student union association. So with these, they can be able to be exposed to what is happening elsewhere, and they learn from other association. But of course, it is of recent that they got their own office here, and some of them we are trying to support. But the good thing is the leadership we have had here among the student union leaders, one of them have been a representative of the youth in the Commonwealth. A small institution like this one, because of that leadership, he executed 2 mandates in the Commonwealth, showing that being able to be elected as a representative of all youth in the Commonwealth, it has a meaning. So that is very important, and I think it is inspiring others. And the management is doing its best to say, because for us, once they are well organized and once they are well supported, they support also the institution. We cannot have a problem. For instance, a case study I can give you is we have, of course, the student union is the umbrella of so many associations, so many clubs. All the clubs, to start their operation, they have to register with the student union. They need to get their approval. One of the cases I can cite is the Association of Survivors of Genocide, Students and Survivors of Genocide. I remember when they started, there are people who have a lot of needs. When they started, we wanted to see how we can support them. Because the small amount the government is issuing cannot cater for so many problems people will have. But we said let's try to see what kind of project for them we can support. We gave them an office, we gave them rooms, then they started working. Nowadays I can assure you that we never receive any complaint from them about money. They are organized, they have their own money, they do their business on a daily basis, and they are one of the clubs that is really highly supporting the institution when it comes to organizing some event, some operation. They are always present because they know they have also the support of the university leadership. So that is really very, very important. And no problem that comes from them. They always solve the problem easily. So that is very, very important. What you said, really, I appreciate. We need to give them really what they deserve, and because these are the future leaders in this country, the whole world. So we have to give them really what they deserve, and we don't think we are really. I cannot say that we are giving them what we have to do. No, there are so many things we need to do. The good thing is the partnership of ISEC is also contributing a lot in terms of really creating capacity. Because if I can tell you, for instance, this is one of the universities that is shining among other universities in Rwanda in terms of entrepreneurial development. Because each year, through the student union, through the support of ISEC, each year since 2013, the time we established the entrepreneurship center, we have seen so many projects coming from students registered at the national level. And today, when we talk about the tourism sector, the company is formed by some of the students who graduated from here.
She's already going to get it deal for me now.
She's recent and she's still at school. She's recent. No, even this guy is doing his own work.
Yeah, he's doing transportation in tourism.
Yes. But I want to tell you that if we take, for instance, a case of companies in travel tourism, one of two best companies, some are from the students.
Wow.
So this is really tremendous. And for the last 3 years, we have seen around 76 companies registered from our institution, Rwanda. So this is very important, and it comes from that cohesion between the management and lecturers. They have a say in the management relation. So that is very, very important. And we shall continue to make sure because we feel that if they are not at the core center of what we are doing, then actually people are talking about quality assurance, we are training half-baked people, that's what people are saying. But that is only seen in small people.